All right, friends, I'm running a 60-second ad break. And when that ad break concludes, we will. Whoa. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm running a 60-second ad break. I don't know why my audio got all kinds of fucked up, but it did. So my apologies to anyone that heard it way too loud. But yeah, I'm running a 60-second ad break. When that ad break concludes, we'll begin our stream properly. So I hope everyone's excited about hanging out, shenanigans, all kinds of stuff. Working on a new model kit tonight, the Lfrith Jiu. And I'm excited to work on that and hang out with everybody about the stuff. Talk about stuff, chill, have a good time. The usual. Talk about some anime. Talk about, I don't know, a bunch of different stuff. We're going to get started with that stream in just a moment or two. And so I would say just get ready for it because it will begin in like, I don't know, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Then we'll get started with the stream. Okay? Okay. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. You know me. You know what my whole fucking deal is. I'm Pat Bear. I build model kits, Lego sets, and I've got a new model kit that I am working on tonight. And that is called the Lfrith Jiu. That's Jiu, Jiu. And it's a big punchy arm Gundam. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. That's right. I'm building a punchy arm Gundam. And I'm very excited about it. It's going to be rad as hell. It is somewhat of your usual Lfrith. We've built two before with the Thorn, which is kind of the one that looks like it should have a flight mode, but it doesn't. And we built the original Lfrith. This one has a backpack that becomes a big punchy arm that also is a gun where two fingers of the arm, the punch, become the fist, I should say, becomes just like a gun. And that's great. That's just good nonsense. So I'm excited about that. There are a lot of stickers with this kit. If we look here, you can see many stickers, but most of, I'm still peeking here. I'm going to turn down. Yeah, all right, we'll go with that. I don't fucking know what's going on with my microphone. I put my microphone in a different USB hub, bus, I should say, not hub, bus. Different USB bus on my computer, hoping that would fix things, and it hasn't, and I don't know. Anyway, these stickers are do one or do the other. There's some shiny, some shinies you can see there of some fun neon colors, and those are optional. But we're going to use them because they look rad. So anytime I can use the ones with the hot pink goodness, I'm going to use those because they're going to look way better than if I didn't. And this kit has a ton of stickers, which I'll be using almost immediately because, of course, I gotta, because we're starting with the head, because this is one of the old G-Witch kits. So you start with the head, and then you work your way down, and you don't use any polycaps because there aren't any polycaps to use, which is great. All right, let's get going here. Let's start our Saturday night stream. I'm going to retweet my tweet. Maybe we can see a few friends hanging out with us tonight. A few more friends will join us. It's a Saturday. People got stuff going on, right? It's fall now. People have things. They're doing stuff. Crazy Kook is here. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on. But hopefully a few people are looking to hang out with me while I start a new model kit. Let's go to the overhead. There's the overhead. You can see I picked the photo of the Lfrith Jiu that has the big punch arm just ready to go, ready to punch. It's a backpack, it's a shield, it's a punch arm, it's a gun. Of course I bought it. I don't actually have anything left in my pre-orders. This is the last pre-order I have. And so but when I saw this, it was months ago, I was like, oh, yeah, I got to buy that. I have to have this. I like this kit already. This is already a fun build that I've enjoyed working on. And it's got the punch arm. And I got to punch. I got to punch. So hopefully this is going to be a stellar kit. But I have the feeling it is. Because we're starting with some working on the face. We're starting with the head. Let's see. Where can we start here? Okay, so we will start with just a little bit of our update on, and I'm not really gonna talk about Elon Musk's um, extreme divorce dad energy at the border. Um, I'm not gonna talk too much about that because everyone, people can dress how they want to dress. It is very sad when they are like just feel the need to defend themselves because just own your nonsense. Like that's how you want to present yourself to the world. You should be proud of it. You should go for it, right? Like you made this call, you've made this decision. This is your thing. You should just own it. Own own your extreme, unbelievably extreme, sad divorce dad energy. She just should. No, I'm the verge is dropping X with how much things have turned out. Yeah. So like, I get it, right? I'm sticking around for promotion, right? I'm sticking around as a self promotion tool. I don't find myself. I use it to keep up with people and then to promote, right? Like I don't go around talking too much about other stuff. I try to share cool things on other social media platforms, and I try not to engage with randoms. I had a tweet. It didn't go viral. It's just getting a lot of notice because it is a reply to a tweet that kind of went a little viral in the anime space. So I'm seeing a lot of people, and then, like, it's very freeing just to block people. I do it all the time. But yeah, there's some people with just like one of those things where I'm like, if this is a joke, it's a bad joke, and if it's not a joke, then you're a nightmare. And either way, I don't need you around. And it's very freeing because I don't really, I am not using Twitter to build an information network as I once was. I use basically everything else and then also go on Twitter to promote the other things. Because some people still use Twitter. Hell, the other day, I happened to be on Facebook because I was looking for an old photo, because that's often what I use Facebook for. I was on Facebook looking for an old photo, and occasionally I look at like memories, because whatever. Sometimes there's something funny in there, or silly, or cool, or sad. Um, uh, and I happened to see somebody with just being like, somebody that I is in my social circle was like, this is the only website I use to keep in touch with people. I wish more people used it. And I was like, I don't want to use Facebook more than once in a while, but okay, sure. Last week says, I don't even know how you wear a cowboy hat backwards. They don't really fit that way. I mean, I guess it's that like pig-headedness, like full throttle. I know what I'm doing. No one can tell me different energy that you need to be a soulless billionaire. You need that like nobody can't tell me nothing energy about you. All right, so these are stickers that go on the plastic that's already there. Okay. Um, I mostly use Facebook for connecting. It's some of the TikTok people post there and the YouTube shorts, so that's always fun. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, right? Like, I still have a Facebook. I'm not actively using it, but, like, there are a couple people in my life that the easiest way to get in touch with them is Facebook Messenger. So I'll do that. Um, and mostly I keep Twitter around as just like a presence on the internet if people want to get in touch with me. Um, That reminds me, tomorrow I'm trying to monthly post on the League of Heels Twitter account so we don't lose it because they're shedding inactive accounts here and there, but I don't want to lose that account Not that we're doing anything. I assure you, we are not doing anything with League of Heels right now. But I don't want to lose that account, so I gotta log in tomorrow and say something. Um, but what was I gonna say? So the CEO of Twitter, you've heard there was a bunch of stuff from her unbelievably terrible interview at the Vox Media Code 2023 event. Um, a lot of it went viral of just like weird shit and nonsense things. But one thing she said, which is fun, is apparently we knew this, right? Everybody knew this, right? Daily active users are down. Since he took over, Twitter is worse in many ways, and most easily acknowledgeable is it's worse in the way that less people want to use it. Which I don't know if you know this or not, friends, but if you're running a website that serves ads, you want to have people there to see the ads. So that you can then sell better ads for more money. Anyway, apparently, she shared that the company currently has 225 million daily active users. And that sounds, obviously, 225 million daily active users. That's a lot of active users. Unless you give it in the context that that's 11.6% less users. That's like a decline of 11% of their user base from before Musk took over. Because he said that he was coming into Twitter at 254 million daily active users. So they have lost a lot. But I guess their month users have gone up. What was it? Also, we should say, he's not even talking about monthly anymore. Musk uses a made-up term called unregretted user minutes, which nobody knows what the fuck that means, which is, in a despicable way, kind of brilliant. He just, like, made up a number, or he made up, like, a metric, so that they are doing well by that metric, which nobody can, like, quite understand what the fuck he's talking about with unregretted user minutes. I guess he's trying to imply that, like, a lot of people like being on this website and they don't regret it, which just fundamentally cannot be true. 75% bots, yes, and disinformation campaign users and all of that, yes. We're not talking about the quality of people there. We're just talking about the quantity. But it's very clear that and people wondered, like, did they go to Threads? Did they go to Instagram? Did they go to Blue Sky? Did they go to Hive? Are they on co-host? And it seems like, and of course these numbers are kind of hard to quantify, so we can't really talk too specific about this. But it does seem like the majority of people are just like, oh, I'm not using social media as much. Like I have those other accounts, but like I don't use them. Like I signed up for one thing, but like, oh, I'm on Threads because I'm already on Instagram, but like I don't know, I'm not really using it. Like that seems to be the response. There's no. It turns out that the big Twitter killer that everyone was chasing is just Elon Musk. The guy that finally beat the predominant social media site is the guy that bought that site. So mission accomplished. Congratulations, Elon. You did it. I don't think that's what you were trying to do, but you did do it. So that's an accomplishment, I guess. All right, so I have the options of 6 or 5 and 8 or 7. And so that is going to be either the ones that have cool, very cool effects like a little color to it, or the ones that are just straight black. And we're going to go with the ones with the colors because the colors look cooler, obviously. Gone into the ether. Yeah, it just seems to be that. Let's see. Also, Musk used to say that the monthly numbers were up, and people were like, why did he switch from daily to monthly? Oh, it's because in 2019, Twitter stopped reporting their monthly user numbers. They started focusing on dailies. So by doing reports of the numbers in monthly, you can only compare to it like way before he took over. So the numbers will always look good because they stopped reporting those numbers. But if you do daily, then you can always compare the daily numbers to when he took over, which will never be the same and never look good. So now he's just stopped doing that. And apparently they have 550 million monthly active users, which is more than the last time that someone said that, which again, you can't compare it too well because Twitter was like, we're going to start talking about dailies instead of monthlies. So can't really talk about it too much. Again, not a lot to say there. I did want to bring it up because I figured somebody might ask about it, but that's kind of where we're at here. Again, not the biggest issue with the world here, but it was something that I did want to bring up because we do check in on occasion with Mr. Musk and his nonsense and his destruction of a website that people used and enjoyed. And some people hate it, of course. I always remember, I am not trying to paint Twitter as a wonderful experience pre-Elon Musk that had no faults or problems. It had many problems. And at least one of his issues with the site was accurate about the bot problem, which he realized he could not fix or do anything about. And of course, Twitter has to make money to pay back the loans that he took out in order to buy Twitter. A problem, a solution to a problem created by the new problem. Hooray! Ugh. Anyway, what else? Okay. We're going to talk about a wrestling show that's happening tomorrow night. Wrestle Dream, an AW experience, which apparently tonight I have not been watching Collision. I did not watch Collision in the first hour, but apparently some matches were added on Collision. One more match was added to the 0 hour, which is the pre-show. So it is a it involves someone who has been rumored to be involved in the pre-show. It's not. I don't know how we got here, but we did. Also, I'll just say it right now. The pre-show 0 hour, there will be a match between Josh Barnett and Claudio Castagnoli. Why? I don't know. Why is Josh Barnett even involved in this? No idea. Why is he fighting Claudio, a guy that doesn't have a belt, who you theoretically would want to face Eddie Kingston for his belt that he lost? No idea. It angers me so much that I can't go. Danielson Sabre will be epic. It very much will. It will steal the show in a pay-per-view that has come together and has quite a few great matches set up. It will undoubtedly steal the show. And in my opinion, should go on last, even though it won't. Because apparently another match is going to go on last, which I don't think is as important as AEW would like it to be, but whatever. I don't know why you don't put Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr. up last, but they're not going to. So anyway, pre-show. As I mentioned, Josh Barnett versus Claudio Castagnoli. No idea why that's there. Sure, fine. There could be another pre-show match added. We don't know. They got an hour, but there's also promoting the actual pay-per-view because, they put it out there and try to get people to watch. The Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster and Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn is not a member of the Acclaimed. He's just there with them. the trio. They will be defending their AEW World Trios Championship against 3 members of TMDK, which is cool. That's cool to get a faction in there, a faction that has been in New Japan for this Wrestle Kingdom, this Inoki tribute show. Shane Haste, Mikey Nichols, and Bad Dude Tito. Having Bad Dude Tito there does feel very good. Love to see that man on the card. We here at Build With Baer Workshop, we respect and honor Bad Dude Tito. So that's awesome. Luchasaurus versus Nick Wayne. Will there be implications for the main event? Which is, again, most likely, reportedly, they said, going to be Christian Cage versus Darby Allin in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the AW TNT Championship. That is a supposedly main eventing. It is cool to have an undercard belt main event. Thought that was pretty cool at All Out. Don't necessarily think this story needs to go last or makes any sense to go last, but that is apparently what's happening. So yeah, Nick Wayne could get just completely decimated. Luchasaurus could turn on Christian. Adam Copeland could show up. Maybe Adam will show up. Adam C could make an appearance, supposedly. Supposedly his contract does not involve a no-compete clause. So when his deal is up, and he could be free to appear wherever. So he theoretically could show up. My opinion on Edge is, I am glad that Edge, who was forced to retire, was able to come out of retirement and have matches and be happy and put on some bangers with some people and do some nonsense and have a good time with it and work with people he really loves and people he thought were neat that he wanted to work with. I think that is great. I also don't think that AEW needs another older guy who got famous in the WWE. Christian Cage is currently a champion. He's a singles champion. Billy Gunn is part of the Trios Championship. These are older men. Billy Gunn is an old man. And that's weird. It's weird to have these guys in a company full of young, unbelievable, undeniable talent. It is, to me, pretty fucking weird to have so much of that talent with nothing to do while other people who were world champions in another company come in and just get to do whatever they want. And that feels weird to me. And I don't love it, and I know some people have no problem with it. I do. I kind of got a problem with it. That's where I'm at with that. I guess I'll just say, Christian Cage versus Darby Allin, 2 out of 3 falls. There's gonna be so much nonsense. Could we see Edge come in to make sure that Christian wins, and he sided with Christian? Yeah, we can see that. Could we see Edge make an appearance? Adam Copeland make an appearance to make sure that Christian doesn't win and sides with Darby. Yeah, we could see that. Could Luchasaurus turn on Christian because Luchasaurus is mad that Christian, won the belt that he won that he barely got to hold? Yeah, that could happen. Here's what I actually want to happen. I want Nick Wayne to get beat up so much and to be so fucking pissed off about getting beat up so much that Nick Wayne interferes. And then send Nick Wayne to Ring of Honor. Because Nick Wayne seems to have all the tools in the world except the part about talking into a microphone. And so I would like him to go to Ring of Honor where he can get better and in a place with lower pressure. They're all the same kind of contracts. Just put them over there. You've got them for years. There's no real rush with Nick Wayne. The rush was getting him before he signed at WWE, which he was unlikely to do, but still could have. So you got him. You got him now. You got the Wonder Kid, and now let him cook. Let him get better at every part of it. It's working great for Billy. Billy Starks is over on Ring of Honor. I think that's great for her. I think it would be great for Nick as well. Okay, so let me read what we're saying here. Make sure the parts are facing the right way. Don't tighten fit the parts. Okay, great. More instructions. We're putting together a chest here. So yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see Christian Cage not have a belt, a singles belt. I'm not particularly psyched about another run for Darby Allin with the TNT title, but I guess between the two, yeah, maybe we'll do that. So I'm saying, I guess I'm predicting Darby Allin. Acclaimed are going to retain. Luchasaurus should definitely beat Nick Wayne. I don't think Nick Wayne should be getting those big wins this early. Claudio's going to beat Josh Barnett. It'll be a cool fight, but Claudio's definitely going to win. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Let's just fucking talk about it. Bryan Danielson is the best in the world. Arguably. Certainly one of the best in the world today. Zack Sabre Jr., a fantastic wrestler. The thing is, I think that Zack Sabre Jr. has been doing his best work with the title that he currently has in New Japan, because he has been working in time limits, and that lets him speed things up. I think this match is going to be a fucking banger, and we're lucky to have it. I think it is rad that we get to have this match, that both of them are in good fighting condition. I don't want to say peak fighting condition, because Danielson has been working, trying to condition, trying to get back in there. So I don't want to say he's at 100%, but I'm excited for this match. I think this match will be fantastic, will steal the show, will be the best match on the card. Bryan Danielson should win this match. But Bryan Danielson might not want to win this match, right? Like, Bryan Danielson has just been whipping Ricky Stark's ass for weeks now, and he shouldn't. So he should theoretically be able to go in and beat Zack Sabre Jr., and it would be kind of weird if he didn't. But also, I could 100% and totally see him not want to beat Zack Sabre Jr. in a match. So I don't really fucking know how this is going to shake out. Because it's like, does he want to win it, or does he want to put over? Like, he might just want to put over Zack Sabre Jr. in this case, which I don't think is wrong. Yeah, that's the question, right? The question comes down to, what does Danielson want? Like, he's working on the quote-unquote last year of his run, whatever. Does he want to lose and then go to New Japan and fight him in New Japan? Like, it's very clear he does want to travel and do that, so maybe that's what he wants to do. Does he want to pay back Zack Sabre Jr., who Claudio fought him? Because Bryan got injured, so they never really had it, and now this is them having it. Like, it's interesting to think about. Like, it comes down to, like, what does he want, right? Like, Zack Sabre Jr. has not necessarily been put in as, like, a unbeatable monster in AEW. He's come in and lost matches. Like, he's great. He's fucking awesome at it. He's an awesome wrestler, and people know and respect the work he does. But he hasn't come in as, like, a world beater that, But Zack Sabre Jr. can beat Bryan Danielson when Bryan Danielson is 100%. Sure, they would take it to 3 matches. AEW loves to do that. Yeah, so you could see the two of them having a match here, a match in New Japan, a match at Forbidden Door, right? Forbidden Door next year to finally solve it, right? You could see them booking that. Like, this Wrestle Kingdom Forbidden Door. Easy, right? So he wins here. Zach wins at Wrestle Kingdom. One of them wins at Forbidden Door. Like, that's totally, I think, a reasonable way to look at this match. So I don't know. I actually don't know. My heart says that AEW will say, you have to win this one. But I don't know. I just don't know, because I think that Brian has a lot of pull and a lot of sway in the company, and that he would want to lose. He would want to lose to ZSJ. So I don't know. It's a tough one. It's gonna be fucking rad though. Also, could be fucking rad. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana, of course. So here's the thing. Hangman Adam Page has not been booked great. It's weird that he is the ROH Trios champion again. That's weird. That's odd. But that's not the same as, like, single stuff. But here's the thing, really, right? So, like, generally you would say it's a pay-per-view. They're going to build up Hangman. They should build up Hangman. Hangman should win this. Swerve needs this fucking win, y'all. Swerve Strickland needs to win this. He has fucking been getting his ass beat by Sting for like half a year. And like a win over Hangman Adam Page, I think means a lot and would be a big deal and would be important. Because I think Hangman can bounce back. But I don't know what the fuck you do with Swerve. I mean, they already took the Trios titles off the Mogul Embassy. Which is fine. You can do that, sure. But yeah, I just don't know what they do if they lose. Like, I don't know what they do with Swerve if he loses. I guess he becomes more unstable, but sure. Him winning over Hangman feels like it means something. So I think I'm going with Swerve, and you just fucking start building Swerve up, and you move Swerve into the international title or the TNT title, and just fucking have a go at seeing how he feels in the title picture. I think that makes total sense. Him chasing a belt. It's got to be Swerve. Also, yes, this is Seattle Tacoma. Yeah, so because Danielson, hey, Lord Christian, obviously Danielson, this is also big for him, the Seattle area, certainly big for him. But like, I think if you're a big Bryan Danielson fan, you are expecting Bryan Danielson to be, that Bryan Danielson wants to lose big matches. So like, that. We all know that about him. So like, you could be like, well, he probably wanted to lose this one. I guess he lost this one. Good for him. He probably fought for this loss. That's kind of his deal. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Realized we could get a little closer. You can see some of these cool stickers. FTR, which is Cash and Dax, versus Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. I mean, it's going to be FTR. At this point, I don't see them just dropping them. And here's why. There's a 4-way fight where the winners become the number 1 contenders for the tag matches. Now, there are 3 babyface tag teams in there. So you would think a heel tag team would win. And then a heel tag team would face one of the babyface tag teams. But the heel tag team, a heel tag in this, the Young Bucks, the Guns, Lucha Brothers, and Orange Cassidy and Orange Hook. The thing is, the Guns versus FTR is probably where they're going to go. It's Collision. It's, Jay White is most likely entering a main event situation in the future. It would make sense for them to have some belts to look even tougher. Or at the very least, the Guns are doing well in the position they find themselves in. So for that reason alone, Guns FTR have history. Guns FTR is the next angle. I think Aussie Open would be fine tag champions. I don't see it. I don't see this. I think Aussie Open are going to lose again. It just does not feel like a match that they're going to pull off. It'll be good. It'll be good enough. Crazy Kook says, same with Jericho. He can take the loss and it won't hurt him. Yeah. Yeah, we'll jump to that. Chris Jericho and the Golden Elite, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi versus Don Callis family. Takeshita, Sammy Guevara, Will Ospreay with Don Callis. I could even see Kenny taking the pin here. I could definitely see Kenny taking the pin in this. But also I could see Jericho taking the pin. Yeah, this is not going to work. This is not a dream team. I think you give it to the heels in this case. And then you see what happens with everybody there. Because honestly, we're going to need Ospreay, Omega at some point, right? I think Takeshita being put over here makes a lot of sense. I could see Takeshita making the pin, but I do think we're that's where we're going for. We're moving towards Ospreay, Omega, again, I think. So the loss comes there. And then I don't know if Jericho keeps feuding with Sammy or if Jericho moves on to something else. I don't know what you do with Chris Jericho right now, other than a long break, and I don't think that's happening, but that's actually what I would do, is have a long break. I thought they had So, Lashbrook, Sammy and Chris were butting heads, and they decided they were going to have a match. And at the end of the match, no matter what happened, they would shake hands and it would be over. But then, apparently, Sammy Guevara decided, hey, instead of that, what if I attacked you after the match and joined the Don Callis family? So now Jericho wants his revenge, and he's, oh, you mean Ospreay and Omega? I mean, that's not over. It's definitely not over. That's still money. They're still going to want to milk that for a lot more money. That's that storyline I don't think is done. I do think that possibly it's done in AEW, but I don't think it's done. Also, I think at some point soon you got to move on from Kenny and Takeshita, and you got to have Takeshita go after other people. And I think you do that by having Jericho put together a team to go after. I think Don Callis sticks with being opposed to Jericho, and I think you move on to other stuff. That's my opinion on it right now. Is that you got to move on to some other shenanigans, because I think we're getting good. We're maybe hitting the end of Takeshita and Omega, but maybe we're gonna get a singles match too, another singles match. I don't know. It's possible. MJF versus the Righteous. So this is a 2-on-1 handicap match for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. I don't fucking know what's going on with this story. Who attacked Jay White? Why are they setting up this at all? What is this? What's happening? Who's Susan? What's going on here? I don't quite know what the dealio is with all of this nonsense. I don't know. I don't think that MJF gets pinned by Dutch or Vincent. I think if you were going to take those belts off of them, it would have been against Aussie Open. I think it's it would be really fucking weird for Vincent or Dutch to have a single or a tag team victory over MJF, even in a handicap match. Raura says, MJF in a handicap match seems like my kind of fun, but I'm very much trying to temper expectations. Yeah, I think it's going to be... So there's going to be shenanigans, right? We've got the Kingdom and Roddy, Mad Adam Cole. We've got Adam Cole injured. To what degree, we don't know. Is he going to be at the pay-per-view? We don't know. We're not sure what that's going to be a factor. MJF is the ultimate cheating babyface. Sounds fun. Can he defeat two guys? Here's the thing. I believe that MJF, with cheating on his side, at the very least, hey, he's not a valiant babyface. He's a good guy because he has a best friend who's a good guy. So you know how this match can fucking end? MJF can get disqualified. What the fuck does MJF care if he gets disqualified? Oh, he didn't win? Oh no, he retained the titles. What does he care? Especially if Adam's not going to be there. And just like, we're just like, well, he's a scumbag. He could just like do a low blow. He could slap the referee lightly and get DQ'd. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't know. I think it would be very funny if there was a spot where he tried to get disqualified and it didn't work, and he was getting frustrated because like he's too good at cheating, and so he wasn't getting caught. I think that would be very funny. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think that'd be very funny. I think they're going to be shenanigans. I could even see him accidentally winning. I wish they had picked a team that wasn't the Righteous, so I thought there was a chance that he was going to lose. Because I just don't see him losing. I don't see him giving up the tag team belts to the Righteous, who have had like 3 weeks of TV time. They've been in Ring of Honor, sure. But their vignettes have not been good, and their matches have not been like, yeah, their first match on TV, they beat the Hardys. And on paper, that sounds huge. But like, that's the Hardy brothers are not high on the card. It's not actually a big deal, even if it looks on paper like a big deal. They're not booked like a big deal, so it's, to me, not one. I don't know. We talked about Christian Cage versus Darby Allin. Shenanigans in that one for sure. I don't think this should main event. It apparently is main eventing. I hope they change that. I don't think that's the main event. I don't think that any match, yes, current Hardys, not Hardys of Legend. I don't think any match they are doing on this card can stand up against Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. And that should, I know there's no belt, but it's bigger than belts. It should go last. And they also could have made it for a title, but they didn't, and that's fine. Eddie Kingston versus Katsuyori Shibata. Now, he is the pure champion. This is not under pure rules. This is not for Shibata's pure championship. This is, however, for two belts, both of Eddie's belts. The Ring of Honor World Championship and the Strong Openweight Championship from New Japan. Eddie has a New Japan belt. Eddie has the Ring of Honor World title. Eddie is a champion in AEW with a Ring of Honor belt. Eddie is not losing. Eddie is going to sell his fucking ass off. Shibata, Mr. Wrestler himself, Shibata, is going to beat up Eddie Kingston. He is going to outmaneuver Eddie Kingston. He is going to slap the shit and kick the hell out of Eddie Kingston. He's going to be stronger than Eddie, faster than Eddie, technically more proficient than Eddie Kingston, but he doesn't fucking have Eddie Kingston's heart. Eddie Kingston is the open heart champion right now. That man's got his heart out for everyone to see. Eddie Kingston, Tony Khan does not believe that Eddie Kingston is a world champion of the AEW variety, in my opinion. This is my opinion on his opinion. But, one, I don't think the New Japan Strong title is going to change hands on an AEW pay-per-view. I just don't think that. I don't think the Strong Openweight Championship, even though it's a strong belt, I don't think that belt's changing hands on a pay-per-view. So that's one in the category of Eddie. Two in the category of Eddie is that just genuinely, if we are talking about the spirit of Inoki. And yes, Eddie Kingston is an All Japan guy. He's not a New Japan guy. But if we're talking about a match that signifies the spirit of Inoki, beyond just two great wrestlers wrestling each other like Brian and Zach, it's Eddie versus Shibata. This is that good wrestling shit. This is going to have like a series of offense and then Eddie kicks out at one. This is going to have Shibata just like mad that he can't keep down Eddie Kingston. It's going to have that heart. It's going to have that fire. It's going to have fucking machine gun chops in the corner and a fucking bruised up Eddie Kingston. And he's going to hold both belts up high. And he's going to get on the mic and he's going to thank Shibata and he's going to thank Inoki. And it's going to be fucking beautiful. And if it isn't, I'm going to be mad. I'll say that. If you want to talk about a match on this card that I am invested in, there is no match on this card I am more invested in than Eddie Kingston remaining a fucking champion in AEW. There are very few things where I am straight up sorry, not sorry. I'm going to be mad. I was mad when Eddie didn't beat Claudio the last time. I was fucking furious that pay-per-view where he didn't get the job done. I was fucking so mad about that. I didn't think he was going to beat Punk. I knew he wasn't going to beat Punk when they were feuding. I was fucking pissed off with that shit ass storyline with him on Ortiz and fucking House of Black. That shit sucked ass when Eddie quit, and it was like, God, do I have to fucking start watching Ring of Honor because Eddie's there, and then Eddie isn't even fucking winning in Ring of Honor? Oh, so mad. As you know, I have been watching Eddie Kingston wrestle for almost 20 years. I am invested in that man's future in this business. And I will be fucking furious if tomorrow, if Shibata becomes a Ring of Honor world champion and pure champion and strong openweight champion. That sounds fucking incredible, but also Shibata is a part-timer, and fucking we don't know how long he's still going to be doing this shit, and it's a miracle he came back at all. But I could be convinced to be happy for Shibata, but that only goes so far because I need Eddie Kingston to still be a champion. Rahara says, nothing taken away for AEW themselves, but this is the best promo I've heard for the pay-per-view yet. I mean, look, like I said, I wear my heart on my sleeve when it comes to the man who wears his heart on his sleeve, Eddie Kingston. He killed it when he came in. He's been killing it as either, his chasing of Jericho. He is just I'm on a team with Claudio, but I still fucking hate that guy. Shit with Claudio. All of it. All of it has been so good. Look. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. is a thing that I did not think I would ever see because I did not think Bryan Danielson was ever going to come back to wrestling. I did not think that he would get out of... I thought he would stay retired. I did not expect it to ever happen in my lifetime. I'm thrilled that I'm going to get to see that match. I'm very happy about it. But my heart says I'm watching this pay-per-view to watch Eddie Kingston defend two belts that he has no business having. Eddie Kingston is the Ring of Honor, the AEW Ring of Honor champion. And Eddie Kingston still has won a belt in a New Japan. And that fucking rules. So, obviously, I'm here for Eddie. I'm psyched for Eddie. I'm gonna be sad if Eddie doesn't win. And it's wrestling, and I don't see the reasons, but maybe there are other reasons. I feel like Claudio is still generally the guy I'm legit maddest to see lose. I hear you. Yeah, Claudio had to give up the Ring of Honor world title at some point, because he's just on AEW so much, and he had beaten a lot of the guys in Ring of Honor, and Eddie's going to challenge. The thing is, Eddie's going to also challenge people who are just on Ring of Honor and get good matches at him. But yeah, and then Claudio's like still in a group. He's still around. He still has other things to do. He doesn't technically need a belt. So yeah, he's going to be okay. But like Eddie, when Eddie loses that belt, I don't know what's next for Eddie Kingston is the thing, right? Like I just don't know what they do with Eddie Kingston if he loses the title, when he loses the title. Yeah. Yeah, it just makes sense for it to be Claudio, so we're going with that. Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart for the TBS Championship with Brody King. So this match feels thrown together as fuck. Apparently, Julia Hart has just been winning a lot. She hasn't been on TV that much, but she was winning when she was on TV, and then she won a lot on Dark and Dark Elevation. And I knew that, but I didn't realize that the last time that she lost was to Chris Statlander. And that's, yes, Lashbrook. It does look like Jay Lethal Jay Lethal and Eddie are gonna wrestle, and that's annoying because the only reason that might be good is because Eddie might need to get some boys to help him out with the fact that Lethal has a bunch of boys. So that could lead to an Eddie Kingston posse. And I do love Eddie Kingston as the leader of a group. I don't know who would be in that group, but it could also elevate some Ring of Honor people if he chooses to go that route. Like just finding some cool people that he wants to work with in Ring of Honor, he could do that. Anyway, to move on to Julia Hart. So Julia Hart, I don't fucking know, y'all. I don't know. Apparently, Julia's last loss was against Chris Statlander. Julie's also gotten way better as a wrestler. She's improved a lot. Obviously, her gear and her look, and having Brody King there, and it's been good. And we're happy for Julia Hart. Julia Hart, like doing well in the business, is good for the business, and that it's all gravy. It's all good shit. There's no part of me that thinks she's gonna win. I don't see Julia Hart beating Chris Statlander even with shenanigans. Like, I think it's too early. I think Statlander, this is only her second title defense. I just don't see it. I could see this continuing this feud. I could see Julia Hart being fucking pissed off and continuing to mess, with Chris, and that leading to maybe Best Friends and Orange Cassidy versus House of Black, like down the line. I could see that happening. Even a four-way, throw in Julia there and do a mixed gender four-way fight. Like I could see that happening. Because I think that would be fucking cool. But I don't see that. I think this will be fun. I hope they get some time. I'm happy to see Julia Hart grow as a performer, but I don't see her picking up the victory here. I don't see a world where she does. Maybe it'll be a shock reveal, maybe a shock title change. But this feels like a pay-per-view where only one belt is going to change hands, if any. If any belt changes hands, it will be Darby winning the TNT title. Like, that's the only one that feels like it's possible, because I just don't see any other possibilities. Young Bucks, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson versus the Guns, Austin and Colton, versus the Lucha Brothers, Ray and Penta, with Alex, of course, versus Orange Cassidy and Hook. This is going to be a shenanigans fight. This is a fun fight here. This is a four-way tag team for a future AEW World Tag Team Championship match. My gut says the Guns, because FTR are going to win, and then you get Guns FTR, and that makes a lot of sense. There always exists a possibility that it could be another team. I could see Jay White and Juice Robinson getting involved, trying to make this shenanigans in here. I could see Best Friends having to get involved. Uh, Ray is a champion already. That doesn't stop them. Also, one of the Jacksons, I can't remember which one, is the number one contender for the international title, which Ray Fenix is the current holder of. So you could do Ray. You could have them kind of take each other out because that feud is ongoing and still personal. So that would be a way to kind of take them out of the running, and then the Guns take advantage and win. Orange Cassidy and Hook have won, but not really on television. They won mostly on the house show loop when they were doing house shows before Collision came out. They won a lot there. I don't think Orange Cassidy and Hook winning makes any sense. I just, in my head, I don't see Orange Cassidy. Like, Hook can take a tag team loss. Hook has not lost a lot, but he has now lost in singles competition. Hook is not undefeated anymore. Hook can lose in a tag match like this because he doesn't have to be the man pinned. Hell, the Bucks would take a pin for this from the Guns. They don't mind that shit. So I think it's the Guns. And then Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta, the match that should be on the pre-show. The match that, I can't believe I'm saying this about a Ricky Starks match. It's the piss match. What else is the piss match on this one? I mean, obviously, you can get up and go to the bathroom in the 2 out of 3 falls match but that's the main event. So you got to get up at some other point. So when do you get up? When do you go and like get a snack? What's your snack match? What's your bathroom break match? MJF versus the Righteous, but there's going to be storyline shenanigans in there. So you want to stick around for that probably and see what's going on. So what is it? It's Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta. Because who the fuck gives a shit? Ricky Starks got a win back. You know, he's been getting beat up by Danielson, so he gets his win back. Oh, against Wheeler Yuta. Who the fuck gives a shit about Wheeler Yuta in a singles match? Like, and I'm saying, I like Wheeler Yuta a lot. I think Wheeler Yuta in pure Ring of Honor matches has been phenomenal. I think Wheeler is in a great spot. I love that a fucking last days of Chikara wrestler is succeeding in this world and doing cool shit. I think that's great, and I'm happy for him. But, like, I don't care about this match at all. It is absolutely time to pee. It's absolutely time to pee Ricky Starks. Because, like, what? Why the fuck would I care? Like, nah, I don't care about that. It's a shame that I don't care about that. But, like, this is a fucking Collision main event match. This is a top of the hour. This is an opening contest Dynamite match. Because you get, like, the cool Ricky Starks music. And then, like, Claudio comes out with Yuta and it looks neat. Like, that's what this is. This is not a fucking big pay-per-view match for Ricky Starks to get to get a win over someone from the Blackpool Combat Club because he kept getting his ass handed to him all the time. If I was in in arena and needed a beer, I would definitely stay exactly long enough to watch the video package. And I said, yes, you will stay for Ricky Starks' entrance, especially if Big Bill is with him. Oh, if Big Bill is there and you get Ricky doing his fucking cool dance pose while Big Bill just stands just kind of in the way, like kind of in the spotlight, but not really, while Ricky's doing his cool shit and Big Bill is just like non-pulsed, like that's the good stuff. So yeah, you want to see that. But beyond that, like, nah. And that's the most passionate anyone will be about this match. And the thing is, it could steal the show. It could like not steal the show. Like it couldn't steal the show, right? But it could be so good that people will talk about. It could be the match that people are talking about. So, I don't know. All right, I'm going to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. Then we'll come back. I'm going to figure out how this shoulder comes together because right now I can't figure out how the shoulder works and what I'm supposed to be doing with this shoulder. But we'll get that together in just a moment or two. Oh, yeah, totally. All right. Hi. Hello. If you're currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here. Through cash money or through your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you get that token. Also, hey, it's the last day of September. September ends in like a couple hours. Like literally a couple hours, we hit September. So, if you want to save some money, this is your opportunity to do it. Apparently, there is an ad break happening, which is the worst fucking time. I did not realize there was going to be an ad break. I did not see the snooze button show up. So there's an ad break happening. So literally the only people who can see this right now are subscribers. Because other people are seeing a non-skippable ad. I fucked this up real bad. Yikes. Anyway, I'm just going to keep going. Gift a sub. I heard you like ads. Yes, you put an ad inside of your ad. Amazon always gets there. It's indeed, Lord Crash and I just didn't see it. After this ad break is over, I will take a pause. We'll do a dance break, so we'll do that. Baldridge just gifted a sub to not me, but someone else. Thank you so much, Baldridge. Appreciate that very much. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. Thank you very much to Baldridge for gifting a sub. And congratulations on saving some money on that gifted sub. Because you did. You just saved a little bit of money. So, what was I saying? I was going to say a bunch of stuff. Another way to support what I do here is through my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Of course, when people watch this later on the VOD, you can't hear the cause. Yes. Patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards to different tiers. Consider becoming a patron. Hey, it's rolling enrollment. You join today, you don't get charged at the end of the month. You don't get charged tomorrow. Don't worry about that shit. I also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over there is a membership if you want to join that. Subscribing to my YouTube is free, of course. Robert says F internet. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I didn't see any drops or any blips, so I think we're okay. But anyway, I got a YouTube channel. Join my YouTube channel if you'd like. Those are monthly ways to support me. You could also support me. Oh, the video hicked up? Okay. I didn't see that on my end. So I am sorry, friends. Baldridge just gifted another sub to Why Sub When I Am Free. Thank you very much for gifting that sub, Baldridge. Appreciate that. Let's thank you again for that. For gifting another sub. Appreciate you very much. That's very kind of you. And I hope these people with their fun names enjoy their gifted subs. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. One-time donations. If you don't want to support me on a monthly basis, but every once in a while you want to help me out, you could always just donate to my coffee or my PayPal or my Stream Elements. And every bit of money that you donate through that, through direct donations through YouTube, through Patreon, through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and I buy model kits with that money. This kit that I am working on right now, this kit right here, the Lfrith Jiu, was purchased. I pre-ordered it because I had funds from y'all, and I really appreciate that. So I thank you very much. Baldridge says, subbing means you don't have to watch this crazy Affleck ad. There you go. Also, being a subscriber means you don't see ads, which is very great. That's why I run an ad at the beginning, so that we don't see pre-roll ads, because I don't want y'all to see pre-roll ads. Yes, Silver Streak just gifted a sub. Silver Streak just gifted many subs. Thank you so much, Silver Streak. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe emote. And thanks, Silver Streak, for gifting a bunch of subs. Appreciate you very much gifting 3 subs and saving some money on those gifted subs. Welcome Raven Queen, John William, and Elite Gamer. Thank you very much for that. John just gifted a sub to Rah Rah. Welcome. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much for all these gifted subs. I appreciate it very much. It's very kind of all of you. And again, Bald Ridge, thank you for those gifted subs as well. Thank you for everybody that's gifting subs. That's very kind of you. Appreciate it very much. What was I? Oh, yeah. So those are all the ways to support me. I should say that right now I'm working on a kit that I purchased. It's in my backlog. You know, I put up a thing. Bald Ridge also gifted a sub to, I think this is like Jody Awards or Jody Edwards. Thank you so much. And I appreciate that very much. And enjoy your sub. It's very kind of you. It's very nice. I appreciate that. So what I was trying to say is, this was for my backlog, and you could bypass my backlog if you wanted to. Okay, so Dirty just gifted 10 gift subs. Thank you very much. John says thank you. Just chilling in the middle of this mellow Dragunov hitter match. Nice. Thank you very much, Dirty, for a gift sub to Bald Ridge and Sloppy Ploppy and the Fuzziest Kitty and Kimura and Brizik and Crazy Coog and RX184240 and Westwood Music and Toasted Coconut and Florala. I have an Amazon wish list, is what I've been trying to say, as you kind, wonderful people have been gifting me subs. I have an Amazon wish list. If you want to buy something on that, it bypasses the queue and becomes the next thing that I build. And I appreciate that very much if you were thinking about doing that. I've got... John just gifted 5 subs to Shogo Hiru, Jatsu, Throttle Bottom, Emily Lugford, which is appreciate, and Arrhythmic Rhymes with Teeth, which I don't think it does. And thank you very much. We hit a hype train, level 5. Thank you for gifting all these subs. I think that's all we have here. I have an Amazon wish list. You could buy something from it. I recently put up some new shit that's pretty cool. You should take a look at it and see if you would like to purchase it so that I can build it and it jumps the queue instead of stuff in my backlog, which is cool. I recently updated my throne wish list. Oh, Rara did a donation that I missed. Thank you, Rara. I did miss that donation. I heard a ping, but I didn't see it. So I have a throne wish list. You can jump on my throne if you wanted to and see that. I think that place is cool. So let me go to Stream Elements and see about a donation. But yeah, Stream Elements, let me check that out right now. But yeah, my throne wish list is cool because it's an alternative to Amazon. And I recently put some new stuff up in there. So you see that. And then let me go and look at here. Rara donated, says a designated PvP stipend. Love you, Pat. Thank you very much, Rara. I appreciate that. Let me quickly go in here and see. Okay. Lord Crashington gifted a sub to Batman Hazes, which I appreciate. Silver Streak says one day they'll release the normally priced Tekkaman Blade model kit, but not this day. Yeah, no. Thank you very much, Lord Crashington, for gifting a sub. Appreciate that very much. That's very kind of you. We're now at 73 out of 50, so we're way past our current. Yes, we got a hype train going. That's just very kind. Thank you very much, Rao, for that donation. It means a lot. And thank you everybody for the gifted subs. It's very kind, and you save a little bit of money on that, which is great. The most convoluted way to support me, the last thing I'll talk about here before a couple other things, unfortunately, is USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. You get an email with that gift card code. You send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open, or a whisper on Twitch because that's a thing you can do on Twitch with that gift card code, and then I will buy that. Indeed. Those are ways to support me if you are so inclined. You don't have to do any of these things. Yes, also fuck DoorDash. If you want to support me for free, I have a Discord where I post build photos at the end of every stream and people post stuff they're working on. My Discord is full of lovely people, and you will be welcome there, and it's very chill. Sometimes there's days without posts, so it's a chill little place. A couple video links for you to check out. Pat Bear's Anime Club. The most recent episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club was recorded live. on Twitch. It is me talking about the end of the summer season and the beginning of the fall season. We got one show from the new season to talk about tonight. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every week I record a character piece that I have written and performed, and I am at least barely rehearsed with it. I do my best to be ready to talk about that with all of you, or perform it off book. But 4 times a year in this year-long project, I do a thing called a clean slate, where I take a bunch of ideas I have not used since the last clean slate, and then I just read them out, and then they go away. Unless, while I was reading out, it really made me laugh, in which case I will save them. And so it's technically not a clean slate, but sometimes an idea has been sitting there for weeks, and I just haven't figured out a hook for it or a way to use it. So a couple of them moved to the pile that I might try to make them work, but also I might give up on them. All right, I have been talking for a very long time about ways you can help me out, and you all did very much help me out, which is very kind of you. I'm going to talk to you about some anime that I watched, because we have the end of 2 series, and then we'll talk about a new show, so that's very fun. But before that, I desperately need to drink some water, and I also need to dramatically transition the overhead, and then also hit the dance button, because we had someone want the dance button, and so we'll get that in a second. But right now, let's just get some water and me right now. I assume tomorrow, yes. So Monday stream there will be a new one. Rara, that's cool. I mean, like I said, it's a very chill. It's a very chill stream. Lord Crashin also wants me to hit the dance button. We will have a new dance button, new dance song for the next stream on Monday, which will be October 2nd. But right now, we got 2 of this song. Yeah. And then it's fun, and then it gets funky. And then, because also Lord Crash didn't want to be at the dance button. Yeah. There we go. And that's, yeah. We'll have a new song. Yeah, I mean, I am in a ton of Discords as well. My Discord is fine if you just want to know what's going on with me, but you don't want to be on social media. Or if you're a model kit builder and you want to share some stuff, that's also fun. A fun place to do that. Reminds me, EGS has model builder for free right now. It's no last call BBS kit model, but it's still pretty good. Yeah. Obviously, Epic sucks as a company, as a vision, as a entity. Epic sucks. But also, Model Kit Builder is free on Epic Game Store. So if you want to get that game, take a free game. I never got around to picking up Model Kit Builder. I was denied a code for that game for coverage purposes. Which is fine. That's totally within their right to not give me a code. But I never never ended up buying it. So I now have it. Yeah. So you mute 99% of servers. Totally. Yeah, that's good. That is the way to do it. Is just to mute them and then just go in and kind of look at stuff when you want to look at stuff. Yeah, that is the way to do it. But yes, so that's free. Driving through Oklahoma in American Truck Simulator. Okay, nice. Hell yeah. Enjoy it. We got to put a sticker on this kit. Okay, so anime time. We will be talking about the last episodes of Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lawrence, the last episode of Undead Murder Farce, and the first 2 episodes of Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. Because apparently they just put up fucking 4 episodes of Frieren. They just put up and it's not like they put up 4 and then it's going to be off for a while. Episode 5 comes out next Friday. So for the foreseeable future, I will be recording my thoughts on 2 episodes at a time up until we get to just like regular. So I did 1 and 2 today. Next week I will do 3 and 4. The following week I'll do 5 and 6, and then I will be up to regular. She posted a beautiful mech build I saw in the mall. Nice. Yeah, appreciate that. I mean, hey, there's good anime out there. Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lawrence was a lovely little show. It was a good time about a girl with a questionable, like not quite clear past that was just clearly in love with a dude that is her caretaker, who seemingly has no clear understanding of his own feelings and her feelings. And if you thought this show was going to end with them kissing, you were wrong. This is the slow build, but this is a romance show about the long, arduous process of 2 people who are not ready to make a move being together in close proximity and not making those moves. And I understand why some people want that fucking payoff, and there are other romantic comedies out there, anime, that can serve that. This did not serve that. This was a slice of life, feel good thing. Where some sad moments in it, but mostly just some good vibes and some good times. So we had that in this particular series, and I think it's great. Let's see. There's a bunch of people prod, and they're like, hey, what's up? But like, what's up? But like, what if you were together? There's a winter market. They hang out a lot together. Lawrence basically at one point is just like, Cecilia's family to me, which like some people are like, oh, that's cute, and other people are like, you dumbass, shut up, that's not how you should feel about her. But like, you can't tell him how to feel. He feels how he feels, but at least he, that's how he feels about the relationship. Let's see. And basically it is decided among all the people that know that they're crazy about one another that like he kind of like Lawrence kind of has to fucking figure this shit out on his own, because like he's not, eventually he will get it. Okay. Baldridge, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of One Piece out there. The One Piece is there's much about One Piece. I think it's great. So good luck for it. We have a flashback with Lawrence. Basically, we get a little bit more about him. And but it's kind of refreshing. But mostly it's stuff we already knew, but it's stuff that like Cecilia didn't know. So that's nice that they can share some moments. Which is nice. And we also have Lily, which is just like a character that, like a young girl that apparently had a crush on Lawrence, and she's like, you can have him, because she realizes that she's not competing. But that was just a weird little moment. So yeah, if you thought that this show was going to end with them confessing their feelings to one another and starting dating, no, that's not what this show was going to do, and that's not what the show did. But it is a lovely little series. If you're looking for just like a slow, chill, like medieval style fantasy show with some religious stuff, but it's not like organized religion to make you fucking like, it's not an attack on it, nor is it a glorification of organized religion. It is literally just a setting for a fairly unique little story that I enjoyed. And that's Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lawrence. Undead Murder Farce. This is episode 13 of 13. If you haven't been watching Undead Murder Farce, you missed the best show of the summer, which is not saying a lot because the summer was kind of weak, but it was at least the best new show of the summer. My hidden gem, a show that I was not expecting much from going into it, but it's so great. Basically, if you didn't watch this show, a mysterious man Moriarty for fucking Sherlock Holmes turns a soldier into a demon, half demon, and he uses a immortal to cut off the head of another immortal, or an oni. I'm sorry, uses a demon to cut off the head of an immortal and steals the body. And so this woman's head is just still alive, and she and the guy who's eventually going to become full demon. They decide that the best way to track down this man that took things from them is to become the world's greatest detectives and travel around the world solving mysteries. And various people from fiction show up, like Victor, who is not Frankenstein's monster, but he's built based on the notes that Frankenstein left behind, and Jack the Ripper, who has become a homunculus, because of course he has. Carmela, the first recorded fictional vampire from Irish novellas. Aleister Crowley is just there. Lupin is there. Sherlock Holmes is there. The Phantom of the Opera is there. The guy from Around the World in 80 Days, Fogg, is there. Everyone is there. And it's fucking cool as hell. It is a murder mystery series with a lot of great action, and it fucking whips ass. And then we get to see, so we got all these monsters, and we got all these humans, and one of the big elements of this last few chapters has been like, these werewolves didn't do shit, but a bunch of humans started fucking with them, probably, or at least trying to blame them for other problems. So humans are the real monsters, because the person who is the most reasonable is Victor. Victor almost gets killed, and Suguru ends up helping Victor. A Frankenstein's monster. And then Victor's just like, hey, Aya's body is locked up in Moriarty's base. He also in the previous one was like, hey, let's form a brief alliance here. Victor is a very reasonable man. Let's see. Alice, who is a human that's not up to great. Alice uses some trick shooting shots, but Aleister Crowley is faster and gets her with poison. Shizuka, who is the maid, fights with Carmela and ends in a draw. So then the cage user team reconvenes, and they're like, the person who was murdering all of the girls in the village wasn't the werewolves. It was Nora. But Nora was also posing as Julie and Louise at different times, because all three girls looked very similar, and so they all were plotting these murders at different times. Because one of them is the person that sparked the mob of humans to kill the werewolves. It was a werewolf doing it the whole fucking time. Werewolf's daughter did it. So basically, this girl conspired to set up a war between the werewolves and the village, the human village, to just basically start a big old war there. Because she wanted to get revenge on both of them. And then she flees, but Suguru catches her. Also, Nora, who was part of this whole thing, had a probably good motive, because this village, it sucks. Besides the whole killing vampire or killing werewolves thing, and mob mentality, also they've been very abusive to some of the women, and so some of those women's deaths were faked to help them. So Nora gets to leave. And then Nora decides to travel the world. and the cage users group decides to return to London because their plan is to, of course, get Aya's body back so that either Suguru can kill Aya because it takes a demon to kill her fully, or they can reunite her with her body and she can be healed, and then at the very least, she can prevent Kim from fully turning into a monster. Undead Murder Farce fucking whips ass. You should check it out. It's a very good anime. It's such a good anime. Such a fantastic story. Really well told. Really awesome, top to bottom. My highest recommendation from the last season because it just whips ass. All right, now we're going to talk about Frieren. Frieren is, I believe, how you say it. I'm still not 100% sure on Frieren. Frieren is the second new show of the season for me to talk about. Again, they premiered as like a 2-hour movie, the 4 episodes in Japan. So Crunchyroll just has 4 episodes up. I should also say, episode 1 of MF Ghost, the spiritual successor to Initial D, by the same creator. The first episode went up a day early on streaming services, so it's already up. But I'm not going to cover that today. I'm going to cover that on Monday because that is a Sunday Monday show for me to cover. So even though the first episode went up, I'm not going to talk about it tonight because I didn't watch it yet. So we got 2 episodes to talk about here because I'll do episode 1 and 2 tonight, then episode 3 and 4 next week, and then episode 5 and 6, and then just episode 7. I think that is the easiest way to do it because there's just so much goddamn anime coming out. All right, so there was a demon lord, and the demon lord was defeated by the hero Himmel, the priest Hyder, the dwarf Eisen. Hey Harold, welcome. Himmel, Hitler, Eisen, the dwarf warrior, and the elf mage Frieren. And they won. This party won. But that's not what this story is about. I mean, it is, and it isn't. This story is mostly about what happens after that, after the end of it. Because she's an elf and her life is going to continue for many, many years, she's going to continue adventuring and traveling. The other 3 are going to kind of settle down, right? And they've been traveling for 10 years together, and she's just like, yeah, that's like a blip in my life. I'll live for thousands of years. And so they end up watching a meteor shower, and she's like, in 50 years, we'll look at a better one. She returns to find 50 years later, Himmel and Hyder, the humans, are elderly. Eisen is middle-aged. Of course, Eisen is just as a dwarf, he ages. He just doesn't age as fast as these dudes do, but he still ages. So they're together, and they go one last adventure, and they watch the meteors again, and then Himmel dies of old age. And then, even though they traveled together for 10 years, Frieren kind of feels like, I don't think I actually got to know him at all, even though we traveled together. I don't think I really know him too well. So she's like, okay, well, I'm going to try to learn more about other humans and other people. And I'm going to actually try to learn some stuff. 20 years later, she finds out Hyder, the healer, is basically on death's door, and he has adopted a war orphan named Fern. Fern has potential as a mage, and Hyder is like, hey, could you tutor Fran? Like, would you tutor Fran for me? And also like, hey, can you extend my life because I'm afraid to die. Um, and Frieren agrees because also Fern is already also a very good mage. She's already has a talent for it, so it's agreed upon. Um, and then the next episode, this has been 4 years. She's looking into immortality for Hyder and training. This show, just like time fucking flies in this show because we are watching it from the perspective of an elf who will live for thousands of years. So if it's wild to you that in one episode like 60 years took place, like that's not, to me, that is a drop in the bucket. And so in this episode, episode 2, there's been some tutoring. Hyder is bedridden. Fern um, Fern is training really hard because she wants her caretaker to see her become a full-fledged mage before he passes. Um, uh, and because she owes his life to him, because she was ready to commit suicide after her parents died, and he stopped her and gave her a reason to live and keep going. Um, hey, Ironhide the Fourth. So, Fenrir does not figure out a way to. The translation she's been doing for years has nothing to do with extending the life. Great, Ironhide the Fourth. I'm chatting about an anime episode that I watched, but otherwise things are going great. I'm chatting about episode 2 of a new show called Frieren, which is fan-fucking-tastic. Um, the full title is Beyond Journey's End. Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. So they can't do it, and apparently Hyder already knew that. He already knew that that there was no hope. This, in my opinion, was a con to get her to train and basically take on the girl that he saved as an apprentice. Hyder dies, and Fern decides she's going to join the travels. And then we start to see the weird side of this like ageless, very powerful mage, one of the strongest mages in the world. We start to see like some shenanigans, like she's not great at traveling. She's very, the thing that she wants to travel for, the reason why that this a mage travels the world is to find weird spells. She likes to collect weird spells. That's her thing, is to find and collect weirdo spells. Silly ones. They find a statue of Himmel, and they decorate it with a flower from Himmel's village called the Blue Moon Weed. And then basically, she wants to decorate it because that's from his hometown. Although, hey, guess what? That plant is extinct. So then they travel for 6 months trying to find it, to save it. And Fern is a little frustrated because she's just like, why do you travel around? Like, why do you just do pointless things? And Fern reveals that Himmel is the one that inspired her to look for spells to prevent apathy, because a lot of a lot of elves are apathetic about the world because they've just lived in it for so long and time is kind of meaningless to them, that this gives her a drive. This was a suggested drive for her. Eventually they find a flower, and they get to make a field of them in Himmel's memory. And that's how Fern realizes that, she's still a very young human. It's important to have passion. And that's the end of the episode. So, if you like detailed magical worlds, If you like a little bit of silliness in your fantasy stories, if you like beautiful, gorgeous fucking animation, and you don't mind a slow pace where, hey, there's going to be action. In the first, this is like a 2 core, so there's going to be some fucking action. We're going to see some demons in this show. There's going to be some fights. There's going to be some trials of mages and introductions of a bunch of characters over time and some cool shit. And a dumb guy with an axe. This comes with my highest possible recommendation. This interpretation is beautiful. It is a loving rendering of a fantastic series and anime I did not necessarily think would get an adaptation because it is so chill, but it's a gorgeous rendering of it. I can't wait to watch more episodes. There are 2, and I could just watch them like tomorrow, but I'm not gonna. But yeah, highest recommendation. Just a gorgeous series. You could do so much worse. There are so many worse anime out this season. So if you got Crunchyroll, if you're looking for something dope as fuck, I would check that out. The name, I'll put this into chat here, is Frieren Beyond Journey's End. And I keep saying it wrong, and I'm just going to have to watch the anime over and over again until I say it right, because it's Frieren. So it's like, it's not Frieren, it's like Frieren, or Frieren. I just haven't been able to say it properly. But that's the name of the anime. There are 4 episodes up, even though the first episode, first week they put up fucking 4 episodes. It's on Crunchyroll. It's a good time. I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you enjoying? What's got you going? Are you watching anything on TV? You're watching... yes, I could wait for the dub, and then I'll get the official... a different interpretation of how to say the name. That's that's fair, Dirty. But yeah, what are y'all into right now? I will say, you know me, I'm playing Hearthstone every day. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I've got a couple decks that are really fun and silly. I've got a standard deck, a couple wild decks. I'm having a good time over in Hearthstone. I think this mini set brought in some really interesting cards, and I'm having fun with them. Playing decks that cheat out my big decks, make big things on the board, win or lose because of my own deck, not because of how I'm responding to my opponent's deck. That has been exactly how I want to play that game, and I have been enjoying it very much. Rara says, my life is Starfield, goofiest shit I ever played. Hell yeah. I'm glad you're really loving Starfield. I will go back to it. I have pretty much started over. Started a new playthrough, which I do a lot. I will occasionally finish a Bethesda game, but more often than not, I play a lot of it and then kind of learn the rules of the world and then go back and start again, understanding the rules better of like, when to buy a ship in this case, or when not to buy a ship, and how to build stuff, and how to expand, and where to go, and that kind of thing. So I'm probably just going to go in and play that up. I haven't played for a little bit, but I'll get back to it. Harold says, I finally picked up Street Fighter 6, also Mortal Kombat 1, and the Jackbox Party Pack 10 demo. I still haven't checked out that demo. I should check out that demo. I have reached out to my friend at Jackbox to see if I can get 10. I don't think I'm going to get it early or anything, but I'm trying to get 10. Certainly, the first Tuesday after the game comes out, we will stream it on. We'll play it on stream. We'll definitely get into Jackbox Party Pack 10 in October when it comes out. We gotta do the TKO 2. We gotta. Dirty says, went to a fish fry today and just saw the shutdown was averted, so no furlong or WWOP. Yes, Dirty. I'm not going to get into the politics stuff except to say there has been a delay of service for 45 days, a stay of execution of 45 days, and then more shenanigans, of course. Also, I hope you had a good time with that fish fry, Dirty. Robert says MK1 cinematics are so funny in the good way. Yeah, I think I've had my fill of looking at Mortal Kombat 1 as a game, but I'm psyched that people are having such a good time with Mortal Kombat 1. It is still weird to think about how many people are so amped about a single player mode in a fighting game. I love that exists, even if it was to some people a little disappointing. Still, the fact that people are so enthused about a single player in a fighting game is just, it's heartwarming. Lastbrook finished Babylon 5 last season, was definitely the most uneven in my interest level. Also, I decided there aren't enough games to be playing and sub to Final Fantasy 14. Lastbrook, you live your life. You live your best life. You do you. That is a way to go. I don't know if that's the way to go, but that is a way to go. Also, yeah, I would say that Babylon 5 does not end as strongly as it starts, but it also does check the boxes they were looking to check. So I think it is successful, even if it isn't as cohesive as one might want. Rara needs to do a big run through that, the MK11 campaign cutscenes and the DMC pre-production reel. Crazy Coog restarted Cyberpunk with the new expansion. Hell yeah, get into that. I hope that it's stable and better and cool as hell, and people who really like Cyberpunk get to keep playing Cyberpunk. Someday I will play that game. I don't know when that day will be, but someday I'll play it. I feel like someday there will just be like enough done to it that I will have a very good time in Cyberpunk. But it just has not been a priority in my life. Plotting around and vibing on tracking your open world games. Starfield is intensely overwhelming. Yes, very overwhelming. Dirty started a new playthrough for Xbox for achievements and reward points. Hell yeah. Raura is just taking every side mission at complete face value in Starfield and treating Starfield like a total slice of life thing. I totally understand. Harold misses Wisconsin because of fish. Hell yeah. I don't get that, but sure. Rara says, I just want more trauma energy in games where they bring that. I acknowledge it. I have simple taste. Yes, if it's got that vibe. Look, at the end of the day, we're all just chasing vibes. And if games end up having those vibes, then you can overlook a lot of problems. If they're doing the vibes right, you can really, truly, like, overlook a lot of bullshit if they get the feeling right, the feeling you're looking for right. You can overlook a whole lot of nonsense. We can be trauma while not being Duke Nukem forever. You get a little excited. Hell yeah, totally. Dirty says, I stopped B5 at season 4 at the moment. Yeah, I mean, like, look, I think it's worth it to finish it, but yeah, sometimes you want to stop. Babylon 5, I think it's worth wrapping it up. It's not my favorite story, but it is a complete story. Opening cutscene on MK1. Oh, you used to live in Wisconsin, and you had Friday fish fry. Okay. See, yes, Harold, I appreciate that context because you were like, I miss Wisconsin, and I don't associate Wisconsin with fish, but you had Friday fish fries, and that is a thing that you associate with your time in Wisconsin. So there you go. Okay. Personal anecdote explaining things. Appreciate it. I'm finishing up the Oklahoma event in American Truck Simulator and pulled a Vinny by trying to go through a toll booth at 92 miles per hour. That's too fast. Which surprisingly led to me crashing into a pole and having to pay about $15,000 to get it fixed. Fun times. Yeah. You gotta. Sometimes you want to go for it, but you don't have to go for it. Also, I have not watched the Nocturne, the new Castlevania. I have not watched that because I currently don't have Netflix. I don't have Netflix, so I have not watched it. But I will tell you, I am aware about the Easter egg in Castlevania. I have been made aware of the Duder Easter egg in Castlevania, and that whips ass and is cool as shit. I'm aware of it, but I have not seen it because I don't have Netflix right now. That is out. Yes, that came out. The new Castlevania is out. So if you want to watch that, you can if you got Netflix. You messed up canceling Netflix, so you have it for another month. There you go. Yeah, I just don't have it, so I haven't. So at some point I will get it. There will be enough things that I want to watch that it makes sense for me to get. It's just not in the cards right now. So I haven't seen the One Piece live action, and I haven't seen the new Castlevania. Fish fries are pretty standard in the Midwest, called the Corn to Ball Ridge. Friday fish fry in Minnesota and Michigan as well, at least. Okay, so there you go. That's something I did not know about. As someone that has spent very little time in the Midwest, I was unaware of those shenanigans. But that's cool. That is fun. All right, let's panel line this, and then we're going to be pretty much done for tonight. I got to go watch wrestling. My next stream will be on Monday. It's Manga Monday. The anime that I'll be talking about will be Zom 100, which still is not done yet. It's on its way, but Zom 100 is not been completed. And then we'll be talking about The Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch, MF Ghost, and I'm in Love with the Villainess. Will I be watching any of those beyond episode 1? I don't know yet. That is the fun part, where I watch a bunch of stuff trying to figure out if I'm going to keep watching those things or not. And right now, the answer is maybe for basically all of them. All of them, the answer is maybe. And we'll see how that goes. But that's the general vibe. It's just like, I don't know. I'll figure it all out. That's the nice thing about what I'm up to right now, is I've got the time to see if I want to watch any of these shows. Of course, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm not watching because I don't have any interest in it, or it'll turn out later that people are like, you should be watching this, and then I'll go back and see what the fuss is about. Like Undead Murder Farce was not a thing I was prepared to be watching because I hadn't really heard much about it. And then everyone I know who watches cool shit was like, hey, this is cool shit. Are you watching this? And I was like, well, no, I'm not. Oh no, I missed out on the cool shit. So then I was watching it. I try to keep abreast of what people are up to, and there's some stuff that will come out that I'm like, yeah, I just don't want to watch that, It's like, oh, this kid is really good at this magic school. And I'm like, okay, I'm all right. I don't need to see that. It might be really good, but I don't need to see it. But we have completed this kit, completed parts of this kit, I should say, for tonight anyway. We got the head done, the chest, the arms. We're wailing through this kit. It's been a nice build. We are going to finish the legs on Monday and then maybe get into the weapon. I'll have to run a poll to figure out what I'm going to do next. I don't think we're going to finish it on Monday, but there's a chance we might finish this up on Monday because, once we finish the legs, all we have left is the big fist to build. So, but that is going to take a little bit of time. This kit's looking great. I love the colors, white and purple. It's just great contrast look. Very happy with all the stickers and how they look with the clear parts. So this is a cool kit so far. What's going to happen now is I'm going to raid someone. That is how we end every stream around here. We always win the raid. We're going to find someone doing cool shit. And we will continue that tradition of finding somebody that is doing the cool shit. So let's see. Who's doing stuff? We got... I don't know. I want to go. Let's see. How long? Well, that's probably going to be. That's going to be a tough thing to go and raid. I do like raiding my buddy, but I don't know. I feel like Magic the Gathering games are a hard thing to raid. So we're not going to raid Ben Wheeler, but Ben Wheeler rules. Oh, Liz Star. Hell yeah. Liz is streaming. Liz is playing Void Stranger, which is cool. That's a cool vibe. So we'll go hang out with Liz in some Void Stranger. So feel free to come along on this raid. Obviously, I need to thank each and every one of you for all of the gift subs for being here tonight, for hanging out. I can't believe how many people saved some money by gifting subs to your friend Pat. I appreciate you so much for that. And for hanging out, for being active in chat and checking in with me about stuff and being excited about things. It was a lovely Saturday night. Sometimes Saturdays here are very quiet, and it was not very quiet here tonight, which rules. So feel free to come along this raid. Hopefully see you on Monday. I hope you have a great night. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.